Welcome back, everyone, to Heroes Hype Amateur Series number 88. Back to the future out here. We are now at the finals. My name is Lauren, joined by Zex. It's been fun casting with you tonight, man.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun casting with you. It's always an honor to cast with someone as well respected in the community as yourself. So humbled in your presence, we'll say.
Thanks, man. Thanks. We are here now at the best of three finals. Those guys were able to take down Team Cynix, who bested Oh My Science, to go up against what seems to be the unstoppable juggernaut of the evening in NA LUL. You get past the team that could take down Oh My Science. Team Cynix is really sharp. Those guys features. They got TXZ, a prominent player from this past year's Heroes of the Dorm.
Oh yeah. Oh, so that's TXZ is from IUPUI. So yeah, I'm very familiar with TXZ. I mean, I didn't realize he was on that team. Yeah, he's on my friends list.
Oh yeah. So definitely got a good matchup ahead of us. We've seen NA LUL tonight be aggressive in almost every situation. Arguably reckless abandon, which is how I like to play the game. So we're definitely going to see something exciting one way or the other. We're going into map bans right now. We're hearing from Ball and Beast. Those guys taking down Cursed Hollow. And NA LUL will ban Warhead Junction. Actually, I feel like the Cursed Hollow ban works in the favor of NA LUL here. That's one of the battlegrounds where you can kind of get around heavy team fighting. And NA LUL they like to play NBA Jam, man. They'll get in your face. So they're probably like, we weren't looking to play that one anyway.
I don't know. I'd compare NA LUL more to NFL Blitz style. You know, grabbing those guys, grabbing those ball carriers and just power bombing them. You know. So, but we're going back to. It looks like we're going back to Battlefield of Eternity, which we saw. I believe we saw game one.
Mm-hmm.
So with NA LUL just kind of running over Moto and not really looking back believe they ended that game under 10 minutes.
It was like 10 minutes and some change.
Yeah.
Like the shield went down at like 9:52 or something like that. It was an abbreviated match, to say the very. Those guys are definitely walking into the Lions Den. NA LUL demonstrated proficiency at the battleground. We're loading into the lobby, right? Meow. Choo-choo's already in here. I got moved down, Ball and Beast. You were here as well. I
don't think I've played with like Zergling and Dan Clan before, but I don't think they want me on their team for this.
So they'll swap you with Mitchie D's and we'll be able to get this show on the road. I like the solidarity. All the members, those guys use the same portrait, which means they load onto the map with a noted advantage. Okay.
Yeah, I say the exact same thing. If a team doesn't have portrait synergy, it worries me. But yeah, like I'm absolutely obsessed with the portrait I use, which I call it the Roman Reigner, because for some reason it just looks like Roman Reigns to me.
Interesting.
So
I like it.
I've
been using the Optimus Prime Artanis skin.
He's like Prime
he's like a Gundam wing mech. I don't know. I just thought it was cool.
I've not heard Gundam Wing referenced in so long. Hey, thank you for that. That was my favorite Gundam.
I don't even watch anime like that either. I don't know where they came from. Here we are. Here we are getting into game one of the best of three. NA LUL have shown that they know how to rock and roll no matter what. We'll see if those guys are ready for them. Those guys on the left will be second pick. If they're going to continue their trend, NA LUL would look to take Tassadar off the board.
that wasn't even a thought from Zergling. That was just like, this has worked the whole night. Let's just do it again.
I mean, if it ain't broke.
Yeah,
Tassadar is the squirrely one. The shields have a big impact. He has a nice escape mechanic. NA LUL, they want to plant your feet. They want you there front and center for the haymakers they're throwing out.
And Dan Clan, not really a TASTAR player to my knowledge. He plays, a lot of the main, the Rhaegar, as we've seen tonight, a particular favorite of his. We see the Malthael band come out as well, and I don't find any fault with that. The instant ETC pickup, NA LUL just saying, this has worked for us the entire night. Sirius has just been absolutely ripping people apart on this ETC. His patience on holding the pinballs, his power slides have just been phenomenal. So just give him a comfort hero.
The Malthael pick is a surprise to me. I think we actually learn a lot about those guys. They're going to go for Garrosh and Lucio. So the Malthael pick, to me, works in NA LUL's favor because I feel like Malthael conceptually is a hero. Like, NA LUL doesn't have the patience for that. They want that burst damage in immediately. They're not looking for percentage-based health ticking. The Garrosh pick definitely adds some context as well. But those guys might be a team that looks to play more, I don't want to say passively, but Malthael, gets his value with, the ticks lasting a long amount of time on Garrosh. NA LUL just wants to fight in fights early, so I don't know.
Yeah, and nothing surprising. It's definite deja vu right now. They go Genji Alarak.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, so we know Zergling's going to be on the Alarak.
Alarak, I feel, is very underrated on Battleground these days. The telekinesis into your team's Immortal Stun has huge playmaking potential. You pair that with ETC's Power Slide, being aggressive over the map objective is going to be a dicey prospect as long as those two heroes are alive and well. I would not be surprised at all if we see Rhaegar Li Ming to round this out for NA LUL. They've had success with it. Why not keep that train rolling?
Yeah, I mean, there's, like you just said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. The combo clearly worked. We see the Uther band come out on the side, so apparently they might be afraid of the potential Divine Shield ETC combo, Divine Shield Genji Dragon Blade, so, but based on what we've seen before, that's probably not the direction they're going.
I would imagine that. No, I would hope to see some aggression out of these next two picks for those guys. A damage dealer of some sort that has burst potential to really justify the early commitment to Garrosh. NA LUL is a team that feels to me like they're not worried about getting thrown because they're already going to be on your face anyway. They're like,
yeah,
no, we'll extend you the courtesy. You don't need to worry about throwing us because we're already here, pretty much. So if they get engaged upon pretty hard, that aspect of play loses value considerably. So I'm really concerned for those guys in this draft, just from what we've seen tonight out of NA LUL.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, okay, they snatched the Li Ming up, so that particular combo is gone. But they do have a potential interesting blow up combo between the Sonya and the Li Ming. Sonya loops onto somebody. Li Ming or Garrosh pulls them back. Li Ming obliterates them. So they're excuse me, goodness. I feel like this is an isolation comp coming out of those guys. It feels like they definitely want to pull a target and just wreck them. So
that's definitely the angle you're playing for if you go for Garrosh. Poison Spear, while nerfed, still does an amount of damage that you can't necessarily ignore. Li Ming, the queen of burst damage in a lot of regards. Cooldown resets are a thing. If Garrosh is able to isolate someone, they can have a pretty good time. But again, you look at the engaged potential out of NA LUL, and now you got to factor in Ring of Frost plays on top of this. Like I said, NA LUL might look to sooner engage on you and be there. So,
this is A filthy combination coming out of NA LUL. Like, I'm looking at this Alarak TK into a Blizzard, follow that up with an ETC set on Genji's right there, and people are going to melt.
Zex, I would not be mad at a Brightwing pick here.
Definitely not mad at a Brightwing pick.
I would not seem upset if Brightwing rounded this composition out. I don't like Brightwing as a solo healer. They might miss out from 1 to 10 for burst healing responses, but the spell shield, I feel it's going to be important. Polymorph on Genji, another interrupt potentially for Mosh Pit, important. Emerald Wind for the disengage. They're gonna go Zarya.
This was my other thought. They're looking to try to prevent that burst damage that's going to come out of Jaina, and I don't blame them for that. The Brightwing would have been my first pick, but like I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, they need some extra beef. They know that all this burst damage is going to come out. Who can help stop that? The Brightwing would definitely stuff that with the spell shield. Zarya could pull this off. But they have no mobility.
That is definitely a concern. Expulsion Zone could help at level 10 for disruption, disengage, and isolation. Sure. Pumpkin Slayer has shown us tonight that he knows how to get burst damage in that sticks. So the Zarya shields are going to get some value, but with no mobility, you really want to stand motionless against ETC Alarak Jaina? That's the play? To stand there and as Zarya?
Mm-hmm.
At your own peril.
Yeah.
At your own peril. I don't know, man.
The positioning on Pumpkin Slayer is going to have to be like just absolutely perfect, because she doesn't have the mobility that Li Ming will have. So we'll keep that in mind.
This is it, guys. After a lot of entertaining games this evening, here we are at the best of 3 finals. On the left, we have those guys. Treebeard is playing Zarya. Average Joe is on Sonya. TXZ is playing Li Ming. Sadat be throwing people around on Garrosh. And Dr. Frost looks to drop the beat on Lucia.
And on the side of NA LUL, we got Sirius on the ETC. We got Dan Clan on the Rhaegar, Zergling on the Alarak. Pumpkin Slayer on the Jaina, and Mitchie D's is playing the Genji.
Early aggression potentially. Chinese bush meta rears its ugly head. Average Joe wants no part of it. Looks on a mini map, doesn't see anyone show up. He's like, I'm hugging these towers, buddy. I know what you're about. No thanks.
All right. So we're going to see an interesting matchup between Alarak and the Sonya, as Treebeard already at full energy. We do see the Demolitions expert come out, so going Q build, hopefully wanting to take this to the late game.
That's the play, and I feel like Treebeard is going to be best served that way. Nice bit of disruption and pull from Sadat. Sets up a good amount of poke from TXZ. Not enough to threaten a takedown. Jaina's at half health, gets knocked off with the long-range grenade. Treebeard's positioning has been spot on and exceptional thus far, getting a good amount of energy while not making themselves a liability for a power slide.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot you can do with this right now. It just got to wait it out on the side of NA LUL. Sirius does go in. Genji follows up. Sadat taking an awful lot of damage right there, but throws a zoning Q out, and everybody backs off, resets, as Li Ming keeps throwing these big blue, well, purple balls. Sirius gets thrown back, but gets the pinball off just in time.
Pumpkin Slayer had some heads-up decision-making earlier on. At it. Definitely something to watch out for. If Jaina gets isolated and power slide's not available for a disengage, Jaina's getting sent home. But up top, Alarak and Genji do the fusion dance and paves the way for the first takedown.
I like that. The fusion dance. Sadat in the bottom lane taking a lot of damage, has to juke off the blizzard from Jaina. Could have been a fair amount of damage. as we see nobody really moving towards this Punisher, and so they just keep working. And Sonya or Zarya in a lot of trouble. Treebeard goes down. First blood to NA LUL.
Shot across the bow and a warning. Bit of foreshadowing. If you get caught forward, Mitchie D's is roaming around looking for trouble and finding it so far and getting value for his team in the form of 2 takedowns. So far, those guys aren't too far behind in experience. To their credit, there's the throw into the potential immortal stun. Telekinesis has a thing or two to say about that. Sirius goes in for the power slide. Face melts to wave his hat goodbye. He gets around the corner. He's gone.
It was a nice presence of mind to hold that TK, not use it aggressively. Holding down alt and then using that TK. Easiest way to just throw yourself away from something, and he did it at the right time.
Dr. Frost went into that bush and met the cow up close and personal. Could have eaten a power slide and a bit of damage from Zergling afterwards. So far, the DJ is going to be able to skate on out of there. Mitchie D's gets pulled after the cyborg agility, but not thrown. Sirius is there for a 3-person power slide. The Blizzard afterwards face melt sends Dr. Frost out of it. 2-person telekinesis Discord strike combo raises the brow of those guys, but the throw towards the immortal isolates Sirius, and the cow just slides away.
That was really dicey on the side of Sirius right there. He got stunned because the Garrosh threw him over the stun as it was landing. So nothing you can do about that right there. That was really good heads up play from Satat right there, just to get that, clever stun. And now Jaina in a lot of trouble. She is way out of position, gets thrown up, but here comes Zergling with the power slide. The Blizzard goes off. She still goes down, but can Zergling get the kill? We see the stun onto Satat right there. Garrosh is going to go down right here. 1-for-1 trade.
Nice.
Mitchie D's snatching health bars away.
Precision gameplay from both of these teams. Pumpkin Slayer almost rounded the bend and got out of there with some fancy footwork. TXZ comes through with the clothesline. Mitchie D's responds in kind on Zarya with the immediate dash. You got to watch out for Genji. Down there, you see the telekinesis into the Discord strike. Orbs from TXZ helps Lucio escape. But Zex, what we're seeing here are 2 teams that are more than capable of going toe-to-toe.
Definitely. This has been a pretty close game so far in terms of just straight-up team fighting. Both teams showing that they can execute their game plans very, very well. Sirius going in. Once again, Garrosh just beautifully holding those throws to get the added benefit of any kind of immortal stun right there, and they push NA LUL off their immortal for now.
Garrosh got maximum value with the pull and the immortal stun. Unfortunately, Li Ming was just not there to follow up. However, there's a half-level lead that leads the way towards a tier advantage. A potential power play moment. There's the power slide going in. Unstoppable gets used to help Sadat get out of there. Dr. Frost amps it up. Both of these teams might look to race the immortal, but we're going to see NA LUL pull ahead with their tier advantage, and they should be the first immortal going over to them.
Yeah, definitely right there. Nice stun onto Satat right there. And Average Joe definitely wanting blood. Dan Clan getting thrown back. The dog going for a ride. He's going to go down. This is not the worst trade in the world if those guys can successfully defend this immortal. Problem is, it's almost got a full shield.
There's definitely some caveats to this progression, but you got to commend those guys for staying on the aggressive with a tier disadvantage. Both of these teams showing they know how to play aggressively, but the shield is going to get melted down before long. They might lose the top wall here, Zex, but they are in no threat of losing the first 4 of the game.
Yeah, definitely not. But talk about losing. Sonya gets lost in the middle of the lane right there and ends up going down. Dr. Frost on that Lucio comes speeding in to make sure at least there's no experience loss, but it's not really going to slow him down, NA LUL, that much. So looks like they're going to be looking to take some camps, going to go for this bottom siege. I'd like to see those guys either take their summoner or that top siege camp after Sonya gets that top wave cleared out.
Mitchie D's out there roaming around, looking for a fight in the back alley, but there looks to be a bit of a congregation going on down bottom. Heroics not too far off. The isolation on Garrosh is going to get him in a position Ree gets taken down. Dr. Frost helps the rest of his team get out of there. Sirius, is looking for the next power slide to get more value for their team. But the disengage is real. That's a huge moment, man. Heroics going to come here pretty quickly for NA LUL.
Yep. Oh, nice combo onto Zarya right there. But you're losing about 60% of his health. Does manage to get back, gets behind the safety of the fort right there. Leaving, throwing orbs everywhere, trying to dissuade any further aggression. But this team just kind of doesn't care, especially now that their heroics are online.
Yeah, I mean, NA LUL, they were looking to put their foot on the pedal at level 9 and 9. Now that they have their heroics, going to be all the more a dire prospect. And up top, we see Sonya again getting the free ride back to their base. So far, Zex, the story of this game has been takedowns coming out of swift rotations from both sides.
Yeah, Mitchy D's has, I believe, gotten, let's check the scores real quick. I believe Sonya's died 3 times, and I believe Mitchy D's has had a hand in every single one of those deaths.
I mean, he's got 4 takedowns and an assist. Definitely involved in the offensive front.
We got the Chinese bush meta coming into play right here. We're going to see if anybody bites. I do like the super aggressive positioning. Oh, they see TXZ coming out right there in Treebeard. Oh, Sirius just completely whiffs on the mosh pit. The sound barrier coming out from Lucio. Mitchy D's now getting taunted up. I believe that snapped him out. Oh, so clutch right there at that ancestral. Ring of Frost coming out as well. The pinball coming out. Average Joe getting a lot of work done with that whirlwind. Alarak does go down. Pumpkin Slayer always got to run. Can he get away? The immortal body blocking Li Ming's shots right there. But TXZ is just running her down. You are not going to get away from me. Maybe she is. Genji ends up going down. And that was a great team fight on the side of those guys right there. They're going to be able to push this into the halftime show. Maybe take a very, very healthy immortal.
Those guys definitely found themselves on the back foot at an awkward angle with that engagement. The whiffed mosh pit definitely opened up some opportunities for them, but Zex, they used their health bars and rotated almost flawlessly. That was HTC level play to keep them in that team fight. The takedown on Alarak paved the way for more, but they're not done yet. Alarak goes in. Zergling gets rocked immediately afterwards. Sat at low and up as the armor to hang on. Rhaegar gets taken down. Garrosh is going to eat the stun. The Immortal gets involved. 6th man of the game. Gets the kill on Zarya.
Ooh, there's not a whole lot of health left on Sirius. Jaina's probably going to die for her transgressions right here. No, barely survives. How did she survive?
Not even close. Wasn't concerned in the slightest. Either way, that's going to net the first immortal of the game for those guys who have definitely shown that they are not just about getting picked off lane. They know how to hang out in these team fights. They know how to hang on. After the full engagement from NA LUL, a number of times now, we've seen those guys just somehow hang on and get the counter kill. The all-out aggressive style from NA LUL is leaving them somewhat vulnerable because they're not catching these opportunities for a counter pick from those guys.
Yeah, definitely not. NA LUL's got to be really careful right here. I know that ETC's probably looking for a good mosh pit, but he's got, here it goes, and that's just bad timing right there.
Sonya hangs on for quite a bit. Alarak gets taken down. Ancestral Healing not going to be there in time. Garrosh gets rocked. Mitchy D's exit stage left goes off screen. Dan Clan's going to try to get away. Pumpkin Slayer could be a potential target here. TXZ, Dr. Frost, Treebeard looking to get involved. The Ancestral and the Ice Block are enough to save the Ice Mage. I got to commend Dan Clan, man. He's hitting these nice cleanses. He dropped one of the Ancestral Healings, but so far the support play's been on point.
Yeah, it has been really good. And that was really good heads-up play from Pumpkin Slayer right there to pop the Ice Block to dodge what would have been a sure kill on Jaina right there.
Say what you want, man. These amateur games are fun to watch. We've seen aggression in team fighting pretty much since they loaded onto the map, and we were calling their names out. Both of these teams are at each other's throats without Greymane say the least. Expulsion zone goes out, locks in Mitchy D's. He gets set up for the full ride. Treebeard catches the sound barrier from Lucio to save Zarya's life. Telekinesis into Discord Strike on Average Joe. He tries to spear his way out of there, not quite making it happen. Sadat eats the power slide. 2-person, by the way, from Sirius, and they both get taken down.
Yeah, the nice positive trade right there for NA LUL. They're going to go in and try to take this keep, maybe pick somebody off. Sirius fishing very, very hard. And it's both teams just kind of reset.
If these teams are alive, they're looking for kills. Like they spawn, they fight, they die, they spawn again. And that's all they're looking to do. Very exciting gameplay. But for the moment, we see Jaina and Genji down bottom. Jaina's going to rotate towards the Bruiser camp to start that up. Top camp was picked up as well. 12 takedowns to 10. 13 minutes into this game, we got 22 takedowns. Aggressive play, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely aggressive on this game. This is what I like to see. These are the best kind of games to cast, where teams are just toe to toe, fist to fist constantly.
We'll see who makes some stronger macro decisions. Both teams pick up their Bruiser camps at an opportune moment. Treebeard, Dr. Frost already hanging up top. Mitchy D's goes in for the early jump, uses the deflect, save himself some health there. Sirius not able to position for the power slide. Mosh pit, all heroics are available. Power slide goes in, locks in Garrosh. Sonya spears in, misses the spear, so gets stunned. Sound barrier goes down. A ton of health getting taken down off of those guys. Zergling has to start backpedaling to get out of there. Mitchy D's dashes on Sonya, goes back in on Lucio, and the dominoes start to fall.
Yeah, now Zarya in a lot. If that slide comes out cooldown, ooh, Sirius gets thrown over, but decides to pinball. Now 2 more kills on the side, or no, 1 more kill on the side. Nice snipe right there from the Li Ming. Zergling in a little bit of trouble right now. Has to use the counter strike, and Garrosh manages to peel NA LUL off of Li Ming. Man,
TXZ had one heck of a Billy Mays impersonation there. He's like, but wait, there's more, because that Orb Magic Missile definitely surprised Gina. I can almost guarantee you that. Both of these teams going at each other's throats, going shot for shot and trading barbs, but at the end of it, we're going to see those guys start to get ahead in this Immortal race as these longer death timers become more and more of a factor.
Absolutely. That fight was definitely the Billy Mays of team fights. Once you think it's done, it's, oh, wait, there's more. Every time. This has just been so much fun to watch.
15 takedowns to 6. Halftime is going to be able to get kicked off for those guys who are at full power. Ancestral Healing just comes back now. Mosh Pit's up in 14 seconds or less, or your money back. Moving in and being aggressive here would be a dicey prospect against this Alarak play. Mosh Pit will be up in a few seconds. There's the Discord Strike and Telekinesis down. Face Melt sends Sadat away, avoiding the pull for the moment. TXZ is like, oh wait, I'm Li Ming, I can start poking in. Mitchy D's is waiting for the right moment to strike. The Mosh Pit goes in, the lowered armor. Have you seen Zarya? Vanishes off the map. Ring of Frost goes in as well, lands on 1 person. Mitchy D's jumping around, looking to get involved there. The throw for the stun helps to disengage, but Sadat says, tell my story, boys. I'm dead.
That wasn't even the initiation NA LUL was looking, but that's the initiation they will end up taking as they get 2 kills out of that. Sirius definitely looking for that 4-man mosh that he had lined up, but got away from him even just for a minute, and he's just landed 1. But hey, they got an Immortal. They've got a slight level advantage at this point. A huge wave backing this Immortal up. I mean, this fort, I don't know if I were those guys, I would just back to keep and just give this fort up. There's no real reason to push out like this, especially with Sirius right there looking for another power slide. Satat goes into him on that Garrosh, and Now Zarya is just throwing grenades as fast as she can.
17 takedowns to 12. This is an important defense, to say the least. A hero or two is the difference between a potential keep or maybe even the game. There's the pull into the stun, cleanse. There's the response. Counter-strike, getting some value, low health bars. Dan Clan can't. Ancestral healing himself. Throws it out before getting rocked. The dog gets kicked. Average Joe looking to spin around. Alarak is taken down as well. Power slap from Sirius. More of a stalling, disengaged gesture because those guys are getting stakes off of that team fight.
Yeah, they definitely capitalized on that team fight just now. The initiation just being just a bit off. Mitchy D's throwing some shurikens out on the back line, but Pumpkin Slayer, nothing they can do. Oh, Garrosh fishing right there. Pulls up a cyborg. Oh, Mitchy D's is in a world of trouble right now. He's doing his best to just delay this push onto this keep. It's not going to work in the end. He did buy some time.
Yeah, the jazz hands were in for Mitchy D's, but ultimately those guys take a look. They're like, actually, we can just go confirm catapults for the rest of the game. Let's go do that instead of chasing around the high mobility assassin. Just a thought. Mitchy D's goes through the gate and has to jump back over. 3 seconds before ETC's back to business. Jaina, 16 seconds thereabouts. Should be enough time for those guys to steal away this bruiser camp and leave their imprint on the macro game.
Yep, this is looking pretty good for those guys. But, I mean, again, it shows that they can just turn on a dime at any moment.
Yeah, both of these teams definitely are demonstrating lethality and value out of both their comps on that front. Right now, we might see more passive play out of those guys as they are now rounding the bend on their way to level 20. Bottom lane is pushed in quite a ways, though, so they're not going to be able to reliably passively soak there. NA LUL, they've been looking for team fights all night. And all the more important, would a team fight be before level 20 gets picked up? The Sadet's going to move in. Mitchy D's getting back as well. Sirius looking to rock and roll. Has the mosh pit available. These tight corridors. Mosh pit candy for ETC. Can he find the right moment?
We're about to find out. We're going to see him go in. Gets cleansed. Here he goes. The mosh pit. The Samberry does come down. Leeming does go down in a hurry. There goes TX. He's sitting on the sidelines waiting to respawn in that greater rift. And Satat still very low. Does have the Zarya shield. Hits the Bloodlust onto Sirius. But here it comes. That's another hero down. That's 3 dead on the side of those guys. And this is going to be at least a very free Immortal at this point, with only Zarya and Lucio up.
It's at least halftime, but meanwhile at the Legion of Doom, the Bruiser camp, with the aid of catapults, were able to march their way up to the core. Heads up decision making sends Genji back there to clear that out. They don't lose a percentage off of their core. This is going to be a healthy Immortal on a late game push, and now we actually see NA LUL getting level 20 first. 20 should be picked up by those guys as well before this is all said and done. But it's starting to look like do or die time right now for those guys.
So let's take a look, see at what. All right, we see Death Metal come out of ETC, so he's gonna probably be. Ooh, nice. Ooh, that was a great boop.
Expulsion zone secures the escape. A full shield Immortal is going to be barreling down his top lane. Genji's hanging down bot, trying to minimize the value out of the catapults, so this push can last. Dan Clan, Sirius, Zergling already there. Immortal shows up late to the party. Jane is going to be there also. Will Sadat be able to get another clutch pull here? Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, he's definitely fishing for it. He's looking for it. But they really need to focus on this Immortal first because it will take that keep. You know, level 20, this is an awful lot of damage, especially with that. Oh, that's Sound Barrier comes out, and now we've got the T-Fight breaking out. Ring of Frost does drop. Average Dose stuck in the middle. Nice taunt from Satat. Takes down 5. 2 down. That's a nice expulsion zone. Zergling is in the middle of no man's land now. He does get the Sonya, though, but in the meantime, this Immortal has been left unchecked. ETC, the one they wanted to die, just didn't die.
TXZ's Leeming is not a joke. That was the dominoes falling the hard way. NA LUL, They probably did have the LOL emote going into that team fight. They got a nice engagement, 2-person telekinesis into the Discord strike. Mitchie D's followed up almost flawlessly. But the response from TXZ's Li Ming, not to be understated or undersold, basically kept those guys in this game.
Yep, but we do see at this point that the lanes are kind of equalized. A bit of an advantage for, let's see, NA LUL, and they're not going to be able to core off this. They are going to be able to grab some camps real quick, but we got NA LUL all coming back up at this point. But that Garrosh hit that Warlord's challenge on 5. He got everybody.
Yeah, Garrosh definitely made some disparaging comments about somebody's mama on the side of NA LUL because everybody paid attention to what he had to say. Huge critical moment for sure, but that Calamity talent, to say the very least, got value. Does buy time. Sapper Camp was picked up. Bruiser Camp got picked up well before the objective, so that could be easily cleared out by those guys. But with a keep down on either side, Zex, the next major team fight victory likely will secure this game.
Oh, and we are definitely looking at the next team fight pretty much right now. Here comes Sirius. He's going to be looking for somebody. They're going to find the Garrosh. There's a combo right there. He is going to go down. Oh, nice sound barrier from Lucio right there. And then now we got the Ring of Frost coming out of the Jaina, and Genji is just trying to chop away at the Garrosh. Finally succeeds in bringing him down. And now we've got a silenced Zarya. Is that Zarya? No, it's a Sonya in the middle right there. Mitchie D's gets the Ancestor right there in the whirlwind going on. Zergling misses a Discord strike. They're in a lot of trouble at this point. Another wave of force from the Li Ming. Just as these Immortals are spawning, Average Joe still trying to go for the kills. And they get it. I believe at this point, this is game.
Genji is going to have to go off to an order of magnitude we have not yet seen. The top lane does have a camp there on the core, but I do believe the remaining members of those guys do have the damage to beat out all of that. Moshpit got interrupted almost flawlessly, so that's going to be for a full 2-minute ride and not available. Power Slide goes in. Average Joe and the boys are looking to close this game out right now. The Death Metal only locks in 1 with ETC getting taken down and the Expulsion dropping. Catapults now arrive on the scene. They want to get in on the picture too. They're taking a selfie along with those guys as they go up 1 game in this best of 3.
Taking a selfie. I like that one. But yeah, that was just TXZ on that Li Ming just pulled that game back for, especially at the end. Getting those resets just led to so much damage. And it's not like it wasn't a close game. It was back and forth constantly.
These are the kinds of games that I truly love about Heroes of the Storm. TXZ comes up big for his team, getting those late game takedowns, snowballing team fights in his team's favor. When everything looked lost in that top lane, the Immortal managed to split out 2 members. Garrosh was out on the island. I was like, this is likely going to be the ball game. TXZ said, not so much. Later on, Garrosh hangs on and ate so much damage and bought so much time for his team to close out that team fight. I was like, would he just die? Like, you can see Pumpkin Slayer, he didn't want to use that Blizzard on Garrosh, but he was like, dude, I'm sick of seeing your face. I'm using my Blizzard now. You gotta die. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
and
it was enough.
Yeah, Dr. Frost at that last team fight hit the clutchest sound barrier to save that Garrosh. And it's just one of those moments where you get so annoyed because you see that sound barrier go down and Garrosh is like on a sliver of health, and then Lucio hits the healing boost with the Rejuvenesca, and you just watch all that life just come back up, and you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah, that fast became a principal kill for NA LUL. They were like, look, you're dying. I don't care what happens. We can lose this fight, potentially this game, but we are so focused and committed that the echo of that 5-person taunt. I don't know what comments he must have said. He was like, your mama wears army boots and everything else, because it seemed like for the rest of the game, Garrosh was a target and proved to be a pretty thick pinata. He ultimately went down, but it was enough for TXZ to go off again. And That's the first time we've seen NA LUL lose a game tonight. Best of 3. They have a chance to force out game 3. They're all out aggression. It's going to be tough. Because I actually feel like NA LUL strikes me as Teams X, where they're just like mad about losing that game. Like that's just going to make them play all the more aggressive. I don't think they're going to be dismayed at all by going down game 1 in this best of 3. And those guys, very impressive. But they're going to have to keep it up if they want to close this out.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I am being told we did catch one of the comments Garrosh made. It was about Jaina's mother, and it was something about Gul'dan mistaking her for another planet.
What?
Like, come on, Garrosh, calm down. It's not that serious, buddy.
Wait.
So.
What?
Yeah, I don't know even. I know these guys pretty well. They're probably annoyed, but I don't think they're that mad about it because it really was a back and forth game.
Mm-hmm.
And we are getting invites. Like, I wouldn't be mad about losing a game like that.
I'm telling you, I think they're just upset because NA LUL, we're going to Towers of Doom for game 2, potentially the last of the night. NA LUL won it first pick. They're like, go to whatever map you find comfortable that you want to go to, because we're going to be right back in your face. You got one over on us last go round, but not again. I like the messages that are getting sent here by these decisions.
Absolutely. This is this is not a map I see these guys on that often in my experience with them. So this is I just check the chat. See who picked this. This was those guys' choice. So NA LUL has first pick once again, and we're definitely man. This is
so. I think they flipped sides on us. No, they didn't. Pumpkin Slayer's
let's say if
right
we
side,
see
right?
if we see the Tassadar band come out, then we definitely know.
Yeah, whoever has first pick, they're NA LUL. Waiting for the players to get in this draft now. Towers of Doom is a very different beast from Infernal Shrines. You got to get those altars. Point control is going to be very important. We've seen the preference and importance of Li Ming tonight. This is a battleground that hero excels on with the poke to stall out and altar capture. On top of the boatloads of damage, we've seen both of these teams now put out with this hero. I think she's going to be hotly contested throughout this draft.
Definitely. And again, there's other heroes that can just absolutely sell in that poke. Chromie is usually a standard pick here. I don't see any reason for that to change. Again, the unknown factor. Hammer. Will someone go, I think we can win with Hammer. Let's run a protect the Hammer comp.
If those guys wanted to go for more of a mind game, they're going to ban out the Genji. Mitchie D's definitely feels respected off of that. But I actually would have wanted them to ban ETC and then take Genji, Li Ming in there 1-2 and force NA LUL to play a different style of game. They've banned out Tassadar first. They first picked ETC all night. I would wonder if they're a one-note team, if they're their most effective with a specific composition. I want to see how deep their hero pool is. I would have tried to take that stuff away.
It's that's a very good point, and we kind of see that come out with the Genji ban on the side of on those guys, and it's gonna.
I would take the Li Ming here for sure.
Yeah, putting TXC on Li Ming again would just be, in my opinion, a really smart decision, and it'd give NA LUL just fits again because that late game Li Ming just. She put him on her little back and just teleported him to victory.
Everyone had their part to play in those last team fights, but no other hero in this game would have gotten the burst damage and consistency to swing that team fight and the top lane back than Li Ming. Lucio definitely has gotten a lot of value for guys. Sound barriers have been in and on point tonight, to their credit. But when you consider the battleground, when you consider the circumstances with which you won game 1, potentially letting Li Ming go feels dicey to me.
Yeah, it does, but they do have an option to pick her up here right now and keep it away from those guys, and I really expect them to do that.
It's definitely something in their arsenal. They may want to look to secure a support of their choice before going into the second round of bans. And Li Ming, that would definitely be a strong and compelling option. Global presence on this battleground is very important too. And they are going to go for the Malthael. I thought this was very counter to how they like to play the game, but Malthael is no slouch on burst on damage. It's just not of the burst variety.
True. And we saw them have, well, I can't really call that burst. Well, I can't really call that sustained damage because they did just blow people up left and right. So this one is going to be a little more slow and steady to win the race, but I'm expecting a lot of value to come out of this Greymane and Malthael combo with ETC. You know,
Ooh, it's long. I figured it would be an Uther ban.
They do have an Anna player, and if Anna can land sleep darts onto Lucio, that can pretty much single-handedly just win a team fight, especially because it just delays that sound barrier from coming out even a little bit.
We're going to see the Anna ban. Alarak gets taken off the board. NA LUL's like, yeah, no, you're not following our footsteps on that one, buddy. Alarak, I haven't seen him get banned out in a while, but an argument's been made for sure. Those guys, they need a solo laner that can hold their own against Malthael. They got a good amount of value last game out of Sonya. I don't think that'd be a bad choice at all. And again, I go back to the Li Ming well. I feel like Li Ming and Sonya, unless there's some other dynamic in their hero that, based off of what we've seen tonight, I feel like those are the two best options for them.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing an Arthas come out on either side, really. Arthas would really fit pretty well.
Arthas could be cool. Double Warrior definitely takes some of the load off of Lucio, slows down the attack speed of both Malthael and Greymane. Thick with 2 Cs, hard to take down. There's really only one stun so far to prevent Arthas from hitting his R key. They do go for Li Ming, and they opt for the global presence and range capability of Falstad. Interesting.
They want that global presence out of the Falstad to be able to get around to these towers quickly, especially with his ability to gust people off towers in the late game or gust them into a really favorable taunt. And we know TXZ can just absolutely capitalize.
Ooh. It's fight time, Zix.
Interesting. They've got to pick another support here. I don't like the Brightwing solo heal. But what are they going to pick up? They could pick up the Rhaegar. That would be a really solid pick.
They put themselves in an interesting spot because they are going to go for double support. And I feel like that puts a lot of weight on Greymane's shoulders, at least early game. We're going to see Malthael off on the solo lane, I'm assuming, for the earlier portions of the game. So the 4-man is a power slide, a face melt into polymorph, and Greymane goes in. Lucio can hit amp it up to perhaps negate that. Li Ming and Falstad will be hanging back, presumably. Well, Falstad will probably be the solo laner. But Garrosh is going to be tough to take down with that form of engagement. Your ETC is basically sitting there eating Li Ming's full damage once they engage. I still like the idea of Sonya here, personally. Who do you think they're going to go for?
I think they're going to go Arthas.
Ooh.
I think they're going to go someone with a lot more sustain.
I
don't discount the Sonya. Or they could just go Zarya and just throw us all completely. They go double support as well with the Malfurion. Okay, so this is nasty on the side of those guys. because you have all this dive on the side of NA LUL, and then Malfurion just goes, hold the silence.
Yeah.
And then that just pretty much wins the team fight.
Yeah. But I don't know about this Malfurion pick, man. Twilight Dream is going to have to effectively win this game. Malfurion doesn't have wave clear these days. His heal is arguably laughable after the support nerf. Lucio and Malfurion, if you're going to go double support, I don't know if that's the pairing. I mean, the root can get some value. It can discourage Greymane from jumping in. The tree, the broccoli that shows up can get some value as well if they go for the damage talents. But if you're gonna go double support, I feel like you want a certain measure of sustain, and I don't think Lucio and Malfurion get you there.
We're about to find out. I think.
Like, I wish you could have seen my face, man, when that Malfurion go like that. Like, I don't know about this.
We're about to see how this works out, but I do think that this Malfurion pick just stuffs everything that NA LUL is going to try to do.
Prove me wrong. Here we go. Potentially the last game of the night. Game 2, up 1 game. On the left side, we have those guys. Treebeards, aptly named, playing Malfurion. Average Joe's on Falstead. Dr. Frost is playing Lucio. TXZ's on Lee Ming. And Sadat would be looking to pull him and throw with the garage.
And on the side of NA LUL, we've got Zergling on that field, Pumpkin Slayer on the Greymane, Sirius once again on the ETC, because why should he play anything else tonight? Dan Clan on the Brightwing, and Mitchy D's on the Charism.
Brightwing's already holding down the post in the top lane, showing the signs that NA LUL for the first time this evening are not looking to be super full Migo face ham aggressive. Definitely a different side to them. All hands on deck were here for those guys, but they see that their opponents aren't looking to party, so they're going to go ahead and get the heck out of Dodge.
Real smart decision on their part right there. Mitchy D's in a lot of trouble. Radiant dashes away, gets pulled back in because Garrosh just kind of don't care about your life and manages to get out. Pumpkin Slayer trying to get that last bit of damage in. Can he find a cocktail? Ooh. Went fishing, but is that poison damage going to finish him off? Oh, no.
By the skin of their teeth, all the members of those guys are able to escape out of there. Lucio has enough sustain to get the job done. Up top, just like we all expected, Malfurion going up against Brightwing. An interesting 1v1 matchup so far. It isn't doing too bad. We'll see.
I know it's actually a matchup I think that Brightwing will win over the long course of time, just because Treebeard's going to have to use a lot more mana to put out more damage than what Brightwing will have to or to push this here. But here comes Charism coming in, punching him that pig in the face. Call PETA.
Close enough to home. Malfurion is going to get back there. The first triple altar affair of the evening is underway. Pumpkin Slayer with low health is going to be able to capture that group of sappers. Sadat, again, getting value out of this low health armor. Close call so far, but no takedowns.
Yeah, Charism takes their top one. Malfurion's about to take their side. And this is just getting really dicey, but it looks like that NA LUL is just going to, safely take this on.
Yeah, they come away with 2 of the altars. It seemed like those guys are just, Towers of Doom is a battleground that goes to the mid to late game almost guaranteed. They don't need to go in there and lose a team fight and then have the game snowball out of their favor. They weren't able to get the positional advantage that they want. They don't have their heroics yet. Like you said, Twilight Dream gets a ton of value past level 10 for this composition. Without being able to fire on all cylinders, I think we'll see more of those guys playing it more conservatively, taking what opportunities that they can, but they don't have a need to go over there and fight for 4 points just yet.
No, way too early to do something like that. There's plenty of game left over. Unless something really goes horribly wrong and they lose all 3 keeps, in the first 5 minutes, which has never happened in the history of Heroes or this map. So they're pretty safe on that end. Just play a little conservatively right now and don't give up too many kills. But Zergling right there fishing, sees Dr. Frost go by, manages to dismount the Garrosh as well. He's really, really hungry for a Q right there, wanting to pull somebody in. He's about to throw it out, I feel like.
TXZ got pretty up close and personal to Sirius. If ETC wanted to make a more snap decision, it could have power slided in when the mage and made something happen. But the next altar, a single one, is going to show up here in 18 seconds. Both of these teams on even talent tiers. Zex, I feel like this next team fight is going to tell us a lot about the way this game goes.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got, Falstad hiding in the bushes. Zergling getting a little far forward on that mouth yield, taking just a little bit of damage. Some good positioning on the side of those guys, but here comes Mitchy D's and company. The Q misses. Mitchy D's in a little bit of trouble now. He's got a back, taking an awful lot of damage right there real quick. And now we see the stun from the ETZ pinballing 3 away on the side of those guys. And now Sirius gets thrown, gets rooted. There's no cleanse yet. Nice pinball. Garrosh taking way too much damage. Once again, he's got a back. Zergling has just been a menace to him this game.
Both of these teams poking and prodding at each other, getting dangerously low on health, but at the end of it, Mitchy D's will complete the capture. That percentage-based damage is going to be a problem for Garrosh. He did survive through all of that, but Mouthfield definitely demonstrated why he's going to be a concern for the front line of those guys. Level 7 right around the corner for them. I feel like Garrosh is going to have to find a really strong pull, and that burst damage will have to be there afterwards. Treebeard, however, gets caught out in rock. The Brightwing shows up after the fact. Polymorph goes in. Sirius could get the power slide on Dr. Frost, looking to go. He's trying to close him out. Gets the stun. Greymane spikes the volleyball.
Oh, Sirius probably going to go down, though. Not enough life on the beefcake. And Mitchy D is probably going to go down as well. Nice try at the Radiant Dash right there. But now Zergling way out of position. He's going to go down as well. Nothing you can do can say stop death, apparently, except for killing him.
A firm rebuttal from those guys. 36-28 on the scoreboard, but those guys say, hey, look, we're not out of this early game just yet. They're going to go over and make the invasion on this sapper camp. Mouthfield just getting back to business now, so they are in position to do exactly that. Falstack could fly in from mid if things get spicy. Hole misses on to Sirius. He's looking at power slide. NA LUL never wants to turn down a team fight. Sirius power slides in, Polymorph afterwards. Brightwing gets involved. Falstaff flies in. Pumpkin Slayer out on the flank being a menace, leaving Garrosh out on an island. He gets taken down.
Oh, but a nice two-man kill from Li Ming right there. TXZ just going in. Ends up getting Polymorph. Zergling is dead. Calamity coming into play right there. And the Sapper Camp will get no...
Doesn't get any value, but the statement is definitely made by those guys who now find themselves quite ahead in experience. They should have a tier advantage and may potentially look to make a play for these two altars that are showing up in the top left and right portions of the battleground. Falstad's definitely getting the team some value. Dr. Frost is here soaking mid as well to get the sound barrier going. Ghanaian Cocktail, Pumpkin Slayer finds himself in probably the most defensive stance we've seen him in all night, being down a tier.
Yeah, this is not a spot we're familiar seeing NA LUL in at this point. Dan Clan going to be able to secure this tower. They still have a tower shot advantage, so this is the point where NA LUL just go soak 10, give up this boss. They're still up 4 at this point. And if I'm those guys, I just keep getting in the face of NA LUL. It's been working so far.
I agree. I'm actually a little surprised they didn't try to have Li Ming poke that top right altar more and make the potential 2 altar swing. It definitely could have done more to even out this game. Pumpkin Slayer is going to be able to capture that Sapper Camp. The pull just misses, as does the E from Mouthfield. Level 10 is now on board. They are bunched up for a mosh pit that could be devastating in this mid game.
Yeah, nice barrel roll. The ETC gets thrown out. That Treebeard getting cheeky with the silence right there. Ends up paying for it in a big way. Oh, Sirius is hungry. You can tell he wants that mosh pit right there.
Yeah, they saw Treebeard come around a corner and they were like, wait, what? Okay, nice Twilight Dream, but now you're definitely dead. Mighty Gust and Sound Barrier get dropped. The pull and toss on the Dan Clan could be a potential takedown. The taunt locks in as well. The magic missiles get negated by the spell armor. Zada is going to start backing away. Orb hits Pumpkin Slayer in the back of the face. Power slide comes in. Sirius does not have Mosh Pit available. Low health bars, a potential appetizing target. Do those guys look to make something happen here?
Definitely, that was a really good engage right there on the side of NA LUL. They did get that pick off, and now a lot of their ultimates are off cooldown. Brightwing TPing in. Zergling with the Tormented Souls gonna get a lot of damage off. Satat almost gonna go down. Malfurion's dead. That's gonna be another kill. 2 on the side of NA LUL, and that's gonna be 2 towers for him right there. There's no real way they can prevent NA LUL from taking these towers.
To quote James Baker in this situation, question marks? A lot of question marks. Because did you see what happened? Malthael pops his heroic, and then Sadet's like, I'm gonna throw you into my backline. Like, I'm sure Zergling was like, this is like Christmas. I already have my Christmas. Like, thanks. Definitely maximize the value. I didn't expect that turn of events at all.
Oh, nice gust from the Treebeard. Might have meant to press E, but ended up getting an R. Kind of close together.
Yeah, I don't know if that wasn't exactly the slow clap moment to justify the Malfurion pick, unfortunately. A shorter cooldown of sorts. It should be up by the next altar phase. But that's not what you want to see happen at this mid-game if you want to see those guys close the series out 2-0. Sirius and Pumpkin Slayer start to back away after getting a decent amount of damage on the towers mid. Sadat on the charge, jockeying towards the top. Face Smelt and the power slap to disengage. Dr. Frost has got to go fast. The pull goes in. No throw, no taunt. A missed opportunity in a lot of ways.
I don't really blame Malthael. Oh, but this is a really big. Treebeard's going to die. That's going to be TXZ going down as well. That's going to be off cooldown. Zergling trying to get thrown behind a gate, but ends up using his Q. He's going to get a kill onto the garage as well. That was a really smart Wraith Strike on the side of Malthael right there. He got thrown behind the tower and immediately Wraith Striked onto the garage to get him back over.
Impressive team fighting from NA LUL's a time-honored tradition all evening, and we see another instance of that there. Those guys, again, I feel like they could have gotten a takedown on Pumpkin Slayer if they got the pull and the throw and the taunt. After it all, we see NA LUL responding in kind in a big way. Karazim gets the top left without any interruption. Greymane gets the top right, and Harsh back the base. A potential 3-tower swing. Twilight Dream again goes out onto just ETC, not getting the value that they were looking for. Sirius just wants to eat tower shots. He's like, I'm ready to go. He wants to die as soon as possible.
Yeah, really, that was actually a really smart decision on his part, because this does bring him up quicker than him just running around doing, nothing. And he does have stage dive. It will be off cooldown, so if they needed to re-engage, he can just stage dive in. So I don't really fault him for that death. That was kind of smart, leading the team away.
Sometimes you gotta run it down mid, I guess. ETC will be able to stage dive. The keep is gonna get claimed. Taunt goes in. Sadat looking to make something happen. Stage dive is available, mind you. ETC looks coming off the top rope. Air balls, no hits on that. And with Mighty Gust still available, this is a full disengage.
Yeah, but they're going to be able to take their keep back fairly easily, I believe.
TXZ said maybe not, maybe not. Got the poke.
I don't know. They've got the benefit of having that fort, but they're losing out on other lanes. And as we see in the top lane, Brightwing's just soaking top right now, pushing that forward, getting them closer and closer to 16. And once they probably get about halfway to 16, they'll probably make a really hard push to get in.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here is a those guys tunnel visioning a little bit. There is no real concerted effort to take this tower back that warrants all 5 members being here to defend this bottom lane, and that's costing them an immense amount of soak. They're down a full level now and a tower tier, or now a talent tier. The one thing going for them is it is a single altar down bottom, so the retreat isn't necessarily an option for NA LUL, but retreat doesn't really ever seem like an option for them, to be honest.
No, not really. It's no retreat, no surrender on the side of NA LUL. They'll probably get these pushed in. Oh, Malthiel has to pop his stacks to get that unstoppable right there. And everyone just kind of resets. They're about ready to go back in because NA LUL wants this keep in response. They're doing a good job of creep cutting right now to help that tower, get some pressure on it.
Nicely done on their part for sure. Core is 24-5. This is definitely a war that NA LUL, as far at this rate, we will have another game to talk about tonight. Dr. Frost and the crew rotate up top. They have their eyes set on this boss. Bottom altar is going to get bottom tower gets reclaimed. Are they able to sneak this out from under the noses of NA LUL? I think they do, yeah.
If I'm NA LUL, I don't even worry about that right now. You're up, 19 tower shots at this point. You take bottom, you take the next tower, and GG. Let's go next.
Definitely. They have more to lose than to gain out of that. If they lost that team fight, that's a big avenue. Power slide goes out. There's the pull. Brightwing gets involved with the Emerald Wind. The root goes in. Treebeard gets his slow clap moment with a generous amount of value off of that Twilight Dream. ETC is the trampoline. Doesn't even need it, though. Sets up the takedown onto Falstad. Garrosh gets rocked as well. NA LUL's going in.
Yeah, that was just an absolute wonderful initiation on the side of NA LUL. Just catching the Brightwing with that Emerald Wind on the ETC. It pushed all of those guys back, and now this was the win condition I had just mentioned. Grab this tower, just take one tower, defend your side, and that's game at this point.
Yeah, I don't see an instance with 2 heroes down, even with Falstad's fly, where both of these altars get picked up by those guys. Dan Clan's already back here, wasting no time. Treebeard's on a suicide mission to get these interrupts. Doesn't have Twilight Dream. Dr. Frost gets beat up, and they're just in the nick of time to get there. Falstad flies in, has Mighty Gust available. Dr. Frost eats the Emerald Wind. Good amount of value there. The last-ditch effort for the moment is holding, but Average Joe, low on health, has to use his Mighty Gust, but I think the Malthiel Poison is going to do him in. Or is it?
Yeah, I believe this is going to be game at this point. We see the Falstad go down. The taunt comes out. The stage dive does land onto 2. Satat just taking a lot of damage. This is pretty much finishing your plate at this point. They got to finish the meal before they can have dessert. And TXZ dropping the Pepe spray right there.
Bark's gonna bark. Greymane puts an exclamation point thanks to Go for the Throat. Closes out game number 2. And NA LUL say we are not done yet. Here comes game number 3.
And I'm glad because I feel like we don't really get a whole lot of game 3s in amateur series across the board. So every time I get a game 3, I get excited because, again, this game was fairly close for the most part. Just NA LUL just had better shrine control for the most part and were able to capitalize on some of the mistakes the Malfurion had. I'm 100% positive he meant to press E and not R. The E makes perfect sense. The E would have landed on 2.
I was concerned about the Malfurion pick going in, and at no point during that game did I see a moment that justified the pick to me. I don't think Malfurion's healing output makes him a worthwhile pairing with Lucio. I don't think his damage output is worthwhile. His lockdown can get you somewhere sometimes. But we needed to see more patience and humility out of that Malfurion to make that composition work. We saw Treebeard a number of times try to go in for the uppercut with the Twilight Dream at the very beginning of the team fight. Like he would just walk in and be like, all right, guys, here you go. Here's my Twilight Dream. I did it. If he waited for that, if he waited for the garage pull, for some of the, a heavier commitment from NA LUL when they're at like half health or something like that, and then he drops the Twilight Dream, you can make some magic happen. But if you throw that right at the beginning and you're split away from your team, you're gonna die. Like you go home. So the Malfurion pick, it didn't work out. It didn't work out.
I like what they were thinking. I definitely see where they were coming from on that Malfurion pick, and I personally liked it. Like they expected the frontal assault, and they didn't see the flanks coming at any point. And that's pretty much what happened. Those entire team fights was they were waiting for the back line to get dove, and then just they never watched their flank, So
positioning definitely proved to be an issue in a number of regards. In some ways for both of the teams. Those guys definitely had some moments where they had opportunities. Again, at the top lane, I feel like they could have gotten the kill on Pumpkin Slayer. They weren't able to get the pull into the throw and taunt combination to close that out. And then they were just kind of caught in a tight corridor against a Malthael, and the rotation came in and it was just like, oh, well, we committed for this aggression, but we don't follow through. So now we're away from safety. This is an opportunity for you, NA LUL. And NA LUL looked around and they were like, thumbs up. All right, I'm ready to go. And again, I don't know if you saw it, but that time Malthael popped his heroic and Garrosh just gave him the heave-ho into the team. I was like, is Garrosh, is he on the other team? Like it didn't look right. It didn't look right. I mean, mistakes happen. No one's perfect.
I don't think
these guys are all better players than I am.
I don't think that was so much of a mistake as bad timing. I think they wanted to throw that Malthael in. I just think Zergling pressed R before Garrosh could throw him because they were looking to blow him up in a hurry, and they had the damage to do it. It's just Malthael had R already active, and okay, I've got 4 people around me. I'm just going to headbutt Q over and over and over, and you're just going to watch my health just go up and up and up.
It just, in that moment, it looked funny. I don't know. One way or the other, we do have game 3 now. Both of these teams definitely show they know how to get the upper hand in a team fight. I think if those guys go for a more aggressive composition, kind of venture away from the double support, they'll have a better chance. I'm not sold on the Lucio Malfurion. I can say that much. But for those keeping score, we're going to Sky Temple for the last game.
Ooh, I like it. This is a bigger map, kind of Cursed Hollowish in its size. So this is definitely going to pull. It's still going to be team fight oriented though, but it's going to kind of make both teams think about how they want to handle that solo lane slot. How do they want to handle that? Do they just want to go with a hard pusher and try to pull the enemy team back to them to deal with that pressure? Or do they want like a global presence like a Dahaka or a Falstad or a Brightwing, in that lane and just go and run it like that? So it's going to be really, really interesting. There are so many glowing portraits. What is going on?
Oh, they're flaunting their rankings right now. Sure, in the lobby. We're waiting for one member of NA LUL to get in here so we can get the show on the road. I want to be selfish here, Zex. I want to see a Garrosh ban, and then I want to see an ETC ban. I want to see both of these teams outside of what we've seen to be their comfort zones. I want to learn more about them. I want to see how deep their hero pools are. I want to see what other strategies they have in their employ. Because NA LUL, they are a very good team fight. Impressive play, gutsy, aggressive macro decisions. I like it. But it feels more like a one-note approach to the game. And I want to see more. They definitely have the potential for more. They just haven't had to play anything else, pretty much. So I want to see I want to see the ETC put to the side. I want to see that taken away. I want the garage to not be involved. I want to see what else these teams have.
Yeah. Really, at this point in time, when you go this late, again, it's like we've been saying tonight. If it's not broke, don't fix it. We'll break it, somebody. It's very easy to break this entire strat of we're going to first pick ETC.
I guess to be fair, those guys broke it with that Malfurion pick, and now they got to fix it. But this is a battleground of NA LUL's choosing, so they might have something up their sleeve here. We're gonna see a first pick now for those guys. Do they identify the ETC value that's been had this entire series and ban that out? Or do they see a bigger threat on the horizon?
I don't know. They're looking at that Genji ban. Kind of looking like to me, it's going to be right now. Genji being the sole outlier in this case of...
And they banned the Genjo.
Yeah, no pro Genjo and
They don't like Tassadar, man.
There's a team
under no circumstance.
Get up.
RNG bless in the chat. ETC taken away from NA LUL. They first picked ETC all night. They've been doing work with it. Can't fault the reasoning or the decision making behind it. But now we get to see them engage a different way. And I'm excited for that. More just out of my curiosity than anything else.
Yeah, it's definitely my curiosity as well. So what else can Sirius play at this point? What can he demonstrate his skills on? It looks like it's... The question is that a serious Dahaka?
Maybe. We'll see. The Greymane's been a mainstay all night. Solid value. Requires strong support play, as Greymane has no self-sustain, and these have been team fights for both teams have kind of put themselves out on a limb. So the support's going to have to be there in some capacity. 2 heroes now to select for those guys. They already have ETC. Mosh Pit and Stage Dive have an argument to be had on this battleground, in my opinion. They might want to lock in a support of their choice. They've done well with Lucio for the most part tonight, so they might look to go back towards that. Sound Barrier has definitely done work for them. Can shut down Greymane's engage. And then maybe a damage dealer. Who knows?
Yeah, the Dr. Frost has just been absolutely amazing on video tonight. Oh, that's spicy.
I like it. I
love it. Like, I already see the potential for, just huge combos right there. Sonya Spear into an ETC slide, followed up with the silence. Where are you going? You ain't going nowhere.
In 2 picks, ETC and Stukov, those guys have posed more of a threat in a team fight than the entire composition they had last game for me. You see the synergy immediately up front and in your face. Power slide into the silence, mosh pit, silence afterwards with the expanding radius. A veritable lifetime where you can just take your hands off the keyboard. You're not pressing any buttons. And Sonya's going to do work. The damage is going to be there as well. I really like the start for those guys.
Yeah, this is an incredible start right now for them.
Do you ban the Alarak here, Zex?
Oh God, that would just wreak havoc. Like, because that would pull ETC out of Mosh Pit if he does go Mosh Pit, but the Sky Temple. So I'm expecting a stage dive ETC. It would interrupt Stukov silences. It would interrupt an awful lot of things coming out of those guys. And I think you do ban it.
For me, it's either that or Li Ming. Li Ming in the hands of NA LUL. That's a sight to behold. But Alarak is no slouch either, and you've made very strong reasons for why I think he could be a huge threat to how they look to engage. 3 seconds. Show me potato salad, and they're gonna ban. I got my wish.
I like that band. Oh, okay. Obviously, I like that band because we don't have to see Garrosh now, but we see volleyball Li Ming. And you tell she works out.
Yeah,
because she's a volleyball player.
Yeah, gotta be fit, gotta be athletic, nimble. There is some cooldown synergy here between Greymane and Li Ming. Potentially, go for the throat, gets a cooldown reset on a takedown. Li Ming would enjoy a benefit out of that. Rhaegar is going to show up as well. We saw some impressive cleanses, as well as ancestral healings from Rhaegar on the side of NA LUL. So that's a very smart pickup.
Yeah, Dan Clan is a very, very competent support. You can't actually rely on him to get a lot of stuff done, and he's been proving it tonight. Very, very, just as well as TXZ has been proving his assassin play tonight. Just very, very clutch plays coming out of him. So
yeah, I mean, what's been cool is like both of these teams have had players step up and make big moments when they matter. It's hard to discount TXZ's Li Ming single-handedly, in my opinion, why there's a third game at all, because those cooldown resets were huge and impactful. We're going to see 2 heroes to select for those guys. They need a damage dealer of some sort. They showed Falstad last game. Battlegrounds such as this, you can get some global value. I don't know if they got enough value last game to go to where I'm hanging my hat on the series with it, but they're going to go.
Oh my God. I love it.
I like it.
This is beautiful.
I like it. Zex, I went into this draft. I said, I want to see something different. I want to see how deep the hero pools are. I want to learn more about these teams. And those guys said, hold my alcoholic beverage of your choice.
They are betting the farm on this. Like, the only thing that makes me nervous is Stukov is not the strongest healer for a tracer in particular. I mean, good burst, but it's the bio kill switch has quite a cooldown.
Agreed. I guess the thinking is those guys looked on the other side of the screen and they were like, who catches me? Like Dahaka gets a drag? We already have ETC. So Murden's going to have to hit a Stormbolt? And it ends up being Johanna and I can just queue outside of the radius? Like, they didn't know Johanna's getting picked up at that point. But when you look at who was available, Garrosh is being, ETC's taken. The next logical choices are Murden and Johanna. And the Tracer player was like, I'm juking those, so I feel pretty good about this. I like the commitment.
I think I think the plan is just to ignore the Tracer and kill everybody else.
Kill them all in the face.
I think the Johanna is there to put the blind onto the Tracer just to buy those few extra seconds of peace and quiet while they just face rush the other team.
I definitely could see that happening.
And if Dahaka gets a drag onto the Tracer by some stroke of luck, there's plenty of damage in a hurry to pop her. They're not incredibly strong on healing on the side of those guys. There's a lot of burst healing, but once you get past that, they're kind of in trouble.
Well, there are a lot of interesting things that they can do with this comp. The Abathur clone double Tracer is going to get value for sure. But double Sonya? Double Stukov? Those are going to be problems. A huge shout out to Loves the Bubble, who just subscribed to the HeroesHype channel. Thank you very much for the support. And here we are, game 3, final of the night. On the left side, those guys. Treebeard's playing Tracer, Average Joe. Zoe and Sonya, Sadass playing ETC. TXZ will be burrowing and doing the boogie on Abathur. Dr. Frost rounds it out on the Russian Stukov.
And on the side of NA LUL, we got Zergling on the Dahaka, which is a surprise to me. Sirius on the Johanna, Pumpkin Slayer on the Greymane, Rhaegar being played by Dan Clan, and Li Ming being played by Michi D's. And there is a little bit of cheese going on here at the bottom. They go running up to see what's going on in this bottom lane, and this is going to be a 4 rotate between bot and mid.
It definitely looks that way. 4 members of NA LUL tip the old feather cap and they're like, good evening there, Governor. Get a little bit of damage on your tower just to show you that we're real. TXZ is going to burrow elsewhere, seeing all the action down here. No need for the worm to show up. Puts the hat on a Treebeard who goes in. Pumpkin Slayer gets tickled a little bit by Tracer, but without that bomb up at level 1, not the biggest deal in the world.
The matchup that's going to really pick my interest the most is this top lane between Zergling and Average Joe. And this isn't exact. Well, okay, never mind. Zergling makes it look easy. Knocks the Sonya out of the whirlwind, but going to go back bottom. Should be a fairly even matchup in that top lane.
Both of these teams have reasons to play passively and aggressively. Macro decisions would be crucial and important at nearly every stage of this game. First temples here in the top and mid portions of the map are here. Pumpkin Slayer, Mitchie D still hanging down bot. Abathur's in the bot lane, so I don't know if they necessarily need Stukov down there to help soak as well. But they're committed to it. He's still down here.
Yeah, we see Dalhaka going in after this Sonya up in the top lane. He's taking over this temple. He's going to sneak a few shots off. Good stuff on him. Average Joe shows up, soaks a few creeps of experience. And then they're just kind of passing this top tower back and forth right now.
Down mid, we see Sadat rotate around the corner. There's the old pull from Johanna. Blind goes out as well. Treebeard could potentially look to find an opportunity to strike. Goes in, applies some pressure to Mitchie D. Pumpkin Slayer, you know he wants to go into Worgen form on that. D-Shield gets used on Johanna. Power Slide goes out. There's the stun. Pumpkin Slayer potentially isolated. No bomb available. Not even needed. He gets out with 28 health. Never mind.
Yeah, no, Sony comes in, mops that up, finishes the plate for those guys. But really, the story is that NA LUL ended up doing a much better job of controlling that middle shrine. And they're in a really good spot right now. We see Abathur deep tunnel to the top right now as Sirius continues to work on this bottom lane. Quick check from those guys checking the siege camp on the aggressive side. Nothing happening there, so they get out.
Both teams pretty much even on experience. Dan Clan finds his T-key, knows how to drop the spray. Good on you, good sir. Greymane's already on the Bruiser camp. Could potentially look to hold on to that and get the right time to cap. I think that would be the ideal macro play. Dr. Frost, Sadat, and Treebeard down bot. Rounding that bin to level 7. I thought with these teams as aggressively as they've been, we might see some form of aggression before the next temple shows up.
Oh, TXC like getting caught up out top. Is Avatar going to die? No, barely. Taps the well and gets out. Zergling catching him right there, trying to hat somebody. And outside the gate on accident.
Gotta watch the positioning, old TXZ. The worm going down at the wrong time could have disastrous implications for both of these teams. Average Joe's gonna pick up the siege camp. Rhaegar closes out the Bruiser camp. Do they look to push with these down bot? Both of these teams kind of rounding the bend. Looking at the talents, Block was the pickup for Sony. Interesting. Good choice there.
We do see the mule come out from the Abathur, so the onus is really on NA LUL to finish their plate on whatever structure they're working on. They've got to make sure to finish it off, or that Abathur is just going to heal it back up constantly. Zergling up in this top lane, finishing off this enemy Merc camp. A little bit of a fracas coming on down here at the bottom. Johanna gets a punish onto 2 right there. Looking for maybe a shield by. Oh, beautiful tongue from Zergling coming out of left field, out of the Wrigley Ivy.
Dirty Dahaka shows up, gets the drag, takes Stukov out, tips his hat, goes up mids like, I was never even here, boys. That's going to be the lion's share, if not all of this next temple, going over to NA LUL. And all it took was Dahaka finding a Z key, hitting a drag.
Yeah, they... Mule's not going to save this fort, little buddy. Good try, though. Pumpkin Slayer has a thing against Terrans for some reason. Quickly kills that mule off, and Dan Clan sitting right there. Sees Tracer come up. Pumpkin Slayer getting a few shots in. Oh, Sonya dies
Up top. Drops the swords. Actually, Average Joe left the game, so maybe they disconnected. Are they back? Neither of the teams have paused the game just yet, so
there we go.
I was about to say, play ball until that pause comes in. That is a critical moment to lose a player. Sonya goes down. Heroics are now on the board. A full level lead for NA LUL. And you're running an Abathur comp? Being down a level by level 10 and you have Abathur. That's not a good sign. You got to turn something around.
It is at least a very low kill game right now. So at worst, they play passive. They give up whatever temple. They give up the boss. They defend the boss. Abathur's split soaking 2 lanes. They get that 10, and then they come online, and then we get to see the magic. I mean, even a double ETC, that's an insane amount of lockdown onto the enemy team. You know, there's a whole lot going on, but it looks like we're getting ready to get back into the game. Here we go.
1. But I agree with the points you made. I feel like right now, those guys just need to avoid the power play. Let them get this boss. You're in no position to really defend it. Just clear it up, or like try to go for it and invade. Just clear it out, bot. It's not going to get too much value. Get yourself to level 10 and live the fight another day, because if they lose a team fight here before level 10 comes up, you're going to have a rough go.
Yeah, they are. You're not wrong. They're gonna get this middle fort as this boss is pushing bottom. We may see a rotation towards this boss after they get this middle fort, and it wouldn't be the wrong move as they are chasing somebody down, and it's Zergling. They are wanting to push the primal out of that lane, but it's gonna get maybe a tower and this middle wall.
What really isn't a good sign is my first thought was like, well, Dahaka's just going to walk away. 4 members of those guys were there, and I felt like Dahaka was under no kill pressure. That's not how you want it to be. Dahaka's just going to be able to walk out of there. Top pressure applied by NA LUL also. Now if they have level 10, the jury's still out as ETC. All right, he goes stage that.
Yeah. It was like I thinking he might have. There was just an awful lot of ways to interrupt the mosh pit at this point. So really, the safer play was the stage dive. You don't much lower cooldown. You know, getting booped out of it doesn't put it on a 2-minute cooldown. So it's just 20 less seconds. But Sirius, it's getting got on by everyone. Ooh. He's got 3 in his sights, but nobody else is around on the side of NA LUL, and nice. DanClan is going to go down. Finally, the double tracer coming into play right there between Treebeard and TXZ. Pumpkin Slayer probably going to go down as well. They definitely want some kind of kill in return. Zergling looking for a tongue, not gonna find it, just barely misses, and now those guys in a pretty good spot for this next temple phase, being up 2 heroes.
Absolutely. NA LUL definitely opened up an opportunity. Nice job by Treebeard to get in there. You can't ancestral heal yourself, Treebeard said to Rhaegar. Gets the bomb in, gets the takedown. An opportunity of sorts. Those guys showing signs of life. ETC still at a stage dive, so we can go ahead and get the bottom temple. If things get too hairy up top, you can hit the trampoline and jump in. Easy peasy. Bottom lane will get cleared out by Abathur. Good amount of damage goes in on Average Joe. There's the early shield. ETC drops in, says hello. Bomb goes out, does not connect. Treebeard has a low health bar, so it starts to back away. Potential gonna end cocktail getting value. Slayer looking for it. Finds it.
Goes in with the engage and gets an ancestral in return, but Tracer does go down. But Stukov follows suit. Satat going down on that ETC as well. And now all that's left is the Sonya. Those resets from Li Ming just doing work.
Cooldown resets tend to be a thing when Li Ming is involved. It was all going so well for those guys, and the tables turned pretty quick here on Sky Temple. Level 13 was picked up for a tier advantage at the back end of all that. Pumpkin Slayer, 3 members of NA LUL, gonna twist the knife a little bit and steal away that bruiser camp. Right now, less than 10 minutes in this game, Zex. 3 forts down on the side of those guys. NA LUL haven't lost their structure yet.
And it doesn't. And the weird thing is, it doesn't feel like NA LUL hasn't lost structure yet. You with the as back and forth as this game has been so far, between the two teams getting pickoffs, it's 3-6 right now in favor of NA LUL. You feel like NA LUL should have lost at least a fort by now, but they haven't. They've got almost a bunch of wells up. They've got mid and bottom wells. Well, they did have bottom well up.
I'm almost wondering if it would have been better for them after getting those 2 kills, just go down and roll their face on the keyboard to take that bottom fort and get some kind of pressure going. Because then if they get a boss later on, it's going to go to a keep instead of a fort. But you can't go back in the past now. A potential 3v4 flank. Quick math tells me, I don't know if this is exactly the play, but ETC will stage dive in, lands on no. Confirms the air ball. TXZ, the clone, comes out. Ancestral Healing connects. The stiff arm, Bo Jackson style, sends Zergling to the back. The after clone melted down. TXZ gone.
Yeah.
Treebeard is going to be able to escape, but Greymane actually gets taken down. But it starts to fall apart after that.
Yeah, Sonya does go down, and so does the clone. And now Stukov way out of position despite the perfect stiff arm. He ends up going down as well, being way on the wrong side of the map. Dan Clan asking him, do you like this part of town?
Here be a little unfriendly for the team on the left. Another tier advantage in the pockets of NA LUL. A single temple down bottom. They have Dahaka for the global pressure. I definitely see a world, Zex, where this bottom lane sees a good amount of pressure being applied to it. While Dahaka gets the bottom temple, and then he shows up when it's time to get interesting. Actually, he's being aggressive. He's going after Treebeard the hard way. I like it.
Yeah, Zergling has always been this really aggressive player. From everything I've seen of him, he does not let up the pressure. He'd rather than taking an objective, he'd rather be in your face, keeping you away from the objective.
I feel like that's the whole mentality of NA LUL from what we've seen here tonight. Yeah. They definitely play my kind of Heroes of the Storm. Treebeard again, annoying Zergling. Drag will land. Pumpkin Slayer comes around. If you hit the E key now, you might have yourself a pretty bad time. So Treebeard reverses time in the midst of 4 members, and the Feral Lunge. Dan Clan takes a bite out of crime.
Yeah, and Satat really right now has the right idea. Pushing this top. He's trying to get his team to 16 as quickly as possible. Those guys already down 1 keep. They're maybe looking at another keep. I don't see NA LUL really letting up on this. And nice power slide from Satat right there. But he's in again on the wrong side of town. Dan Clan does go down. The clone goes down as well. Nice stiff forearm to get the Greymane off. But now Stukov is being invaded. It looks like NA LUL might take this. I do believe. Oh, never mind. Li Ming gets pulse bombed, and now this kind of forces NA LUL to back off and reconsider their bad decisions in life.
Greymane just kind of stood there and ate that silence for a little while. I thought that could have been a potential playmaking moment for Treebeard, but Pumpkin Slayer is going to be able to get out. The turnaround isolation into the drag. The bobblehead connects, and Tracer gets deleted. Pumpkin Slayer now wants to get back involved. Another drag, another play made by Zergling. Pumpkin Slayer's hanging around here with 200 health or less, like it's okay.
Go into the bush, Pumpkin Slayer. It'll be okay, I promise. Oh, but Serious doing the tank's job and finding each mine the hard way.
Oh!
That was so close. That was just milliseconds.
That could have gotten a little awkward, but the hearth is in. 2 keeps are down. 2 levels, about a level and a half down, guys. They're in a position where I feel like they need to try to make something happen before level 20, and they need to go for the home run grand slam because conservative play just doesn't feel like an option anymore.
No, it doesn't, and especially 2 temples up, that top keep will get shredded in an absolute hurry if they even go for that. they could be doing what they're doing right now and just waiting for a boss play to come through. I hear a Ganellian cocktail go off somewhere. So there's some fishing going on.
Bruiser Camp picked up, going to the remaining keep. Average Joe steps into the bush, eats a full orb to the face, gets the hat afterwards as a consolation prize. No engagement. Time is dwindling before the Storm tier talents are online for NA LUL. How do they play it? Another orb finds Average Joe. He's like, I'm tired of going to these bushes, man. Li Ning is eating me alive. A nice drag. Lowered armor. Goodbye, Sonya.
Oh, recall out of the tracer right now. We're going to see oh my goodness, that roll combo out of Greymane right there was just filthy. Treebeard's going to hold this Gilnean cocktail, have some of that fine liquor with the rag in it, says Greymane. ETC, NA LUL thinking steak tonight.
They're thinking end of the game. Pumpkin Slayer's going to rotate towards mid. They're getting the temple, and they're just like, wait, actually, we can just go like right-click the core. Abathur gets involved. Is taken down.
Zergling B stepping that. Whoa, Greymane going for a ride in the middle lane. Insert that Marble 2 character select music.
That's going to be the end of HeroesHype Amateurs. I don't see an iteration of reality's extra. Average Joe and Dr. Frost have enough to slow this down. Temple and 4 members. This is definitely GG.
That was an incredible game. Even though NA LUL won that game, 2 levels up, it did not feel even remotely dominant. That whole series, neither team felt dominant. It wasn't like the first NA LUL game where they just kind of pulled the JoJo's and went Dio on a steamroller on them. It was very, very close and just in your face action just constantly.
Throughout the course of the evening, you definitely saw the skill level start the match in NA LUL. They looked impressive from start to finish. They didn't show any signs of slowing down. I feel like those guys lost steam to some degree by game 3. Their engages didn't really have the luster that it had in game 1, in my opinion. Even with the ETC, it seemed like when they deviate off the course that we saw from game 1, they struggled. Game 2, they went with Malfurion and double support. They weren't able to make that connect. This game, they come out of left field with the Abathur Tracer combo. They got in a couple of nice bombs in against the Rhaegar, but for the most part, they weren't exactly able to pull everything together. So maybe they just need to work on these alternate strategies a bit more. But overall, impressive play from both of these teams. Big congratulations to NA LUL.
Yeah, NA LUL looked really strong. Very clean for the most part. There's a couple of hiccups in some of their team play, but really, I was really impressed with those guys. You see Oh My Science and you think those guys are going to pretty much make it to the final, but Team Cynex ended up upsetting them. Yeah. And then in another upset, these guys came back and upset them. And Team Cynex.
Yeah, that road was pretty interesting. We actually have Zergling on standby. I'm really curious to hear his thoughts. I think he's ready to be brought in. I want to get in this guy's head a little bit. So here he is, Zergling. Congratulations on winning HeroesHype Amateur Series number 88.
Damn, am I right? 88? Jesus.
We've been around for a minute, man. We've been around for
it's been a while.
Again, congratulations, man. I got some questions for you.
Aggressive
play seems to be the hallmark of your team. Is that like a philosophy that you guys have? Like, we just want to go in?
When I was looking at different teams before I created this team, that we were really looking at different styles of play, and a lot of people wanted to play the double support meta and just sustain fights and stuff like that. And I looked at the Chinese scene, and I really love their constant fighting and their aggression. We were actually gonna name our team at one point China Number 1, but we decided NA LUL instead to live up to the name. But we basically love the aggression of we're gonna go balls to the wall. every single time, every single fight, and we're gonna get what we want. And if we die, it's okay. Every time we just gotta strike fear that they're gonna be scared and to rotate on us. We're gonna control the map and control the rotation. So that's something we really enjoy. So we run a lot of comps like that. We run a lot of different comps. We can play the double support if we need be and stuff like that. Like the second game at Tower of the Doom, we ran a double support comp with Matthew. We can play those if we have to, but we want to just be in your face, and we want to be as close as we can to you. We can smell we can smell your gum you're chewing. That's how close we want to be to you guys.
Definitely an in-your-face play style. I'm curious to hear what the voice comms were like at the end of game 1. Things were really close all throughout. You lose that one team fight at the end. Were you guys more upset, like we can't wait for game 2 because like that one just got away from us? Like what were the comms like after game 1?
100%. That was my fault that we lost that game. I misplayed the call. I had a double pull with the Alarak combo on Sonya and Garrosh, and I thought the double pull with the hasty bargain, with the reset, I thought I was going to be able to blow up either Sonya or Garrosh, and we decided on the Garrosh because the Sonya was able to get out with the Lucio heals and stuff like that. And honestly, with that situation, it's a late game immortal, 100% shields, 100% health. We just needed to back out, and once they initiate on us, we just need to back out and then wait until it gets on core. It was 100% our fault, and I knew that, and then take responsibility for that. And we knew that we had that game; it was in our hands. But the second game, we just went all out. We wanted it. Like Dan always says, let's go. Let's just go.
That sounds like something he would say.
100%. Every team fight. If we win a team fight, Dan's just saying, let's go. That's all you hear in comms. Let's go.
You guys did display an amazing amount of self-control, especially earlier on in the night, I believe against Modo, where Sirius had the presence of mind not to pin. There was a particular combo towards the end of the game where Sirius power slid in, but didn't pinball right away, allowing you to drag him, that particular character, back through. And was that just a happy accident, or was that like actually planned, where you like hold your pinball, until after I drag? You guys practice like that?
Every single comp that we run with blow up specifically, the less displacement, the better. So we're calling out our CC train. That's the way we call it. So we need to make sure we don't stack our CC on top of each other. We want to make sure it's like right after each other, so they can't really get away and stuff like that. Secure the kill. And Pinball Wizard's very good at clearing waves. That's the main reason why we take it, and the damage for blowing up people. But the Pinball Wizard has like a few seconds afterwards, so you can usually W after if we don't get the kill like officially. But with our combo, usually the Q is just to set up the combo, and then we just blow whoever's up in there. So that's the reason why we hold back the W. It's very rarely that we use the W because it's just too much displacement going on. We don't know which way they're going to go. So
that's a fair point.
Walk me through the Tassadar bans. Like, it just seems like you guys are staunchly opposed to this hero. Like, is that also just a part of the philosophy? Like, we want to be in your face, and we never want to see Tassadar.
One thing that stops us, one thing we can't break down is Trump's big wall, force wall by Tass. So we can't get past that, and it actually hurts our comp a lot. It splits us up in our combo, and it's very hard to deal with. And on top of that, it's very hard to kill the heroes that are associated with Tass, like Tracer and Illidan. So it's just a flat out just great ban, because we have no problems dealing with any other hero in the game, and that's the only hero that actually can give us some problems, and Medivh as well. And I know that I'm friends with Cheerybeard on the other team, and I knew that he plays a lot of Tracer, so it's just natural that we just ban a Tass. So it's just easier with the way we draft and stuff. We draft everything out beforehand. Okay. And we know what we want, and we got exactly what we want every game. It was great. But good, just the Tass is just a natural thing at this point. We don't really care about any other hero.
That's fair. How serious are you guys? Like, do you have ambitions for the open division?
Yeah.
Do you guys scrim and stuff like that?
We were scrimming for a while. Two of us are in school right now, so we're finishing up finals within the next week or two. Our tank, he's actually graduating next week, hopefully. Cool. And he after he gets graduated and stuff like that, we're gonna be resuming scrims around Christmas time, and that'll be a few weeks before open, and hopefully we'll make an impact. we were scrimming before. We had a lot of teams have like kinks and stuff, comms and stuff like that, dealing with that kind of thing, and we really improved our macro play and our communications, and I think we're looking much better than what we did before, and hopefully get better from here on out.
Cool, man. I think there's definitely a lot of potential for your team. I'm really happy to hear that you guys have on the open division. It's just always interesting to me to hear how often players are practicing, because at HeroesHype, we just see the end result of the practice, you guys showing up and being in the tournament. But I think a lot of people would really come to appreciate the amount of effort that you guys put in. So I'm really glad to hear that you guys are looking to get back in the scrimming. You continue to sharpen the things up that we saw tonight, and we're going to see a lot more of you, man. Congratulations.
Sweet. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Zach, you got anything else for the young man? Let him go.
No. Hey, so tell me your feelings on triple tap. Why didn't you pick it?
Triple tap.
What?
He was in a game in a different league, and he was forced to play Nova.
GG.
And he went precision strike.
Precision strike got way more kills. That's what I'm saying. I need that wave clear.
All those kills would have been so much more exciting with triple tap, though.
I was honestly surprised that they didn't ban our Dahaka, dude, last game.
There was definitely some dude. Your drags, they were man.
Your initiation out of the brush stalker was just pretty much on point 100% of the time. I can't think of a single team fight that went on in Sky Temple where you didn't completely turn the team fight around.
We had the person shot called before the team fight even started. We knew by the positioning who was going to get. I called out my tongue target before the tongue even went off 100% of the time. It was just cut clean dry. Like, I knew exactly what was going on, and my damage, like, Pumpkin Slayer and Mitchie, they both knew who I was going on, and they were ready to follow up, and it was really nice.
Cool, man.
I think overall my team played really well tonight. Dan had some really nice cleanses tonight.
Yes.
Overall, really, really nice cleanses. I was really happy about that. Pumpkin Slayer did a really good job following up on the damage. Mitch did really well on the Brightwing. He did really good on the polymorphs, and Sirius set up a lot of kills for us. So really happy.
This is my first time ever getting a chance to speak to you directly. So, my opinion might mean whatever. But you guys seem like you're taking competitive heroes pretty seriously. And NA LUL is kind of based in a meme. Can I suggest the team name Let's Go?
Ooh, see, we need more fans. And if people see NA LUL, then every time they say NA LUL in chat, they're actually like sponsoring us. They're happy for us. So Twitch chat is gonna be, cheering for us, and they don't even realize it.
Okay, your team. I'm just throwing out the opinion. I want to see you guys go far, so I'm looking forward to it.
Our second team team choice was This Is Jimmy. So that was a close.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations. I hope we get to see more type amateur series, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with in the open division, man. Congratulations. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. Thanks for casting that, guys. I really appreciate it.
It was fun. They were definitely fun games.
Had a blast.
All right, I'm off to go study finals then. You guys have a nice night.
Good luck, man. Take it easy.
Good luck. Have fun.
That rounds out another fun and exciting week here at HeroesHype Amateur Series. The amateur scene is alive and well, to say the very least. These teams, new blood, new faces in the scene, older veterans showing up as well, showing that they still have the drive, passion, and commitment to play this game at a high level. Definitely looking forward to seeing NA LUL progress further. And all these teams definitely put up a lot of performances. Any closing thoughts, Zex?
No, I'm going to be honest. NA LUL placed exactly where I thought they placed. Like, as closely as I followed the previous incarnation of their team, and everything I've seen about Zergling of himself, I knew whatever team this guy was going to put together was going to go far. And this is like a first step for them. Like, winning HeroesHype is a very, very solid step in the right direction for them. And I'm going to say I'm not surprised. again, before we went live, I was talking about NA LUL and minimum when HDC opens, I expect NA LUL to minimum make the playoffs.
They keep playing like that and then continue to improve. I think we could see exactly that. Again, congratulations to them. Definitely put up a solid performance. Can't wait to see more of them. But for now, we're going to call it a night. That'll do it. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Be sure to follow the channel. Follow HeroesHype at HeroesHype on Twitter to get all the latest updates. We have a LATAM presence now. Sunday nights we have an English cast for that going on too. So definitely no shortage of action here at the HeroesHype community. But for now, I'm going to call it a night. Take it easy.